Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers from around Yukos, it's me. It's today. It's time for another little talkie about Roots of Ruin under the microscope. So here's where we're at. I got a page and a little bit of notes. I kind of want to follow up on my video from last week. I kind of talked about I started the conversation of future proofing, and I used the all-consuming as an example of an effect that should be future proofed in using gating or anchoring. And it's not reflected in like the comments of that video, but it did spur some pretty good conversations from a bunch of different angles from a bunch of different people. And it was kind of like the usual kind of talk, you know. It's players agreed or players didn't agree because of, hey, if you compare this card to that card, this card's better. Why would this one have to get that sort of what would kind of feel like a nerf? Where I don't think gating is a nerf. I don't think it is at all. I think what it is it's protecting the long-term health of the game and the pool of cards and everything is what it's doing. So I kind of want to double down on that conversation, you know, because I think this set, first off, like recursion designs, that's the number one big issue with them, and why so many designers won't even touch it, because they are the hardest. They're all, I would say they're impossible to future proof. They're impossible. And so I think it needs to be kind of like an all hands approach on trying to do our best to make this the most successful set we've had in a long time. And I'll talk about my success, what I define success as at the end of the video. At the end. Don't let me forget. So the conversation, I guess, shouldn't be like what's strong now. It should be what breaks the game later, you know? Because when I look at the Roots of Ruin, specifically at the Everborns tribe, it's more, Everborns are more than a tribe. They're a system. It's a system, you know. It's got a synergy package. It's got recursion identity. It's a mid-range deck with phenomenal mid-range value engines and removals. And under the hood of it, the more that I play, it really feels like it's just a scaling system that's tied to the void. You know, as the void becomes more powerful, so does the entire system that you're playing with the Everborns. You know, and so that system, I think it becomes, it doesn't just work together, man. It gets stronger. So if they design more things into it, the whole thing is going to become stronger. And then the more that system, the more the game has universal access to that system, then the more that there's a probability that the future card designs break the game. You know, I would hate for this set to have an oops moment, you know, like the Antlant Forager had, where that card came out as part of the whole big push to bring Magic an archetype that they didn't have before, which is the Atlanteans, and all that card did was troll the entire game because it made Lost in the Depths way too consistent. And so I think that's kind of, for me, that's the most famous example that we've had of the lack of future proofing broke the game. And because every player that I talk to that has left the game, it's always the same thing. The game's broken, I'm out. And that's the thing. Once a player thinks that the game is broken, they're not going to spend money on it. You know, you break it once, what's going to stop them from breaking it twice? Well, they broke it twice, I'm out. You know, I was willing to sit through that one-off thing, but now they've done it a second time, I'm out. And that's always been the recurring theme around players that have left, is the game being broken. You know, and because at the time when, like, there was never bans going on at all whatsoever, you know, the guys were like, oh, we just have to forever play into teachers. No, I'm out. And So now we have formats that are out there that are introducing bans, and you know, that has its own variants of success and players that like or don't like. But the attempt is there. The willingness to make the game as best as it can be is there, and so I applaud all those attempts. But it doesn't take away from the fact that, like, the effort to future-proof is the next big step for the design and balance team of this game. You know, because with this set, man, this set, the thing that I really love about it is that the void becomes a second hand. You know, you have your cards in your hand, but everything in the void's in play. It's all in play, and it's phenomenal. And the fact that the whole system is a neutral system is also another one that kind of, man, I think it's, again, that's another red flag that there needs to be even more effort and be played even more safe when it comes to gating and anchoring this set, is because it is neutral. All the scaffolding of the entire system is neutral. You know, like, okay, Yates, give me some examples. I'll give you some freaking examples. You know, to a lesser extent, I would say the Mole Infiltrator is a card I think should be gated or anchored. Because right now it's just a neutral 2/3, so it's got a great stat line. But now it also rips the top card of your opponent's deck into the void, so it's a deck disruption. And it also gives you phenomenal information on what deck your opponent is running. All of that for 2 mana. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. It's a turn 1 play. You can pip that turn 1, rip a card, know what you're playing against. Now you know kind of how to spend your resources. Going forward, all for 2 mana. And then if you're going to allow that to be universal, then guess what I think is coming next is the Disruption Shard. I think that's going to show up in every single deck. Why wouldn't I run it? The only requirement to run that card is 1 Everborn out there. I'm going to have the Mole Infiltrator, and there it comes. Now I'm going to freaking disrupt the whole thing. And that's universal. It's universal. You know, and hand disruption is something that has become toxic in the game. And hand disruption, in my opinion, becomes toxic when it does 3 things. It's when it's too easy to include in your deck. It hits consistently, and it disrupts as much tempo as it costs. Though if it does those 3 things, it's toxic. It's get it out of here. Get it out of here. One of those 3 things have to go. And so when it comes to the Disruption Shard, I think it should cost a little bit more. It should be gated more. It is gated. It should be gated more. Another one I think is the that could be taken a look at, and this is probably going to get a pushback too, is the Play the Odds. Right now, it's kind of a fun casino that's kind of sort of on the cusp of doing something. I can at least, I feel like I know where it's going. And, oh man, as the Void becomes stronger, this is a card that scales with the Void. And it will, it's a consistency engine, it's a value engine, and it's a combo enabler. I don't know what you can do with it. I just see that thing needing some sort of future proofing is what it is. Not gated, not anchored, but some sort of something. Something's got to be future proofed about this. Universal access to anything that's in the void, like, bro. Anyways, that's you know, because the whole kind of thing for me is if everything is flexible, nothing has identity. Does that make sense? If everything's flexible, then nothing has identity. If the stronger the identity, the less flexible everything is. And for this Everborn set, I believe it deserves the strongest identity we have in the game. And what that means is it's going to have the least amount of flexibility. And I think that plays to the anchoring, the lore, the fun, the future proofing, the balancing. And then that's not to say we can't create a format in the future that allows crazy flexibility. I think there's room in the game and enough players that would be willing to have fun and meme in that capacity. But in terms of like the competitive side of the game, I think this deck is phenomenal, and I would love for it to be successful long term. And then, so yes, thank you for reminding me, Yates. How do you define success when it comes to a set? Success is not what feels good today. Success is what feels good in a year from now. You know? It's not, hey, did we sell out all these cards? We did. That's not a success. That's not a success. You have a very passionate player base that are with deep pockets that are still love this game and been a part of it since day one and are still buying up everything. That's not a success. A success to me would be, are players still shining this set a year from now? Are they still doing that? Is this thing still in competitive formats? Are players excited when they see a format coming with this set included in it? Those are the things that I measure success by. So it's not some short-term answer for me in success. It's long-term. And I think that answer can only be done through future-proofing, future designs, and time. But yeah, so that's me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers from around you coast. What do you think? What do you think? Flexibility, identity. Flexibility, identity. Universal access to the system, or identity? You let me know. I look forward to hearing from you all. Take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week for another Roots of Ruin Under the Microscope. Take care, guys.